All right, 8th graders, this is to help you with question 8 on CR number 6. If all the planets' masses were expressed using scientific notation, which planet listed would have the lowest power 10 to the n? Explain your answer. Okay, first of all, they're talking about the masses of the planets. So in no way, shape, or form is it related to the distance from the sun. So let's focus on the masses of the planets. Well, I think Pluto has the smallest mass, so I'm guessing that's going to have the lowest power. But let's talk about how to rewrite these. Because you're saying, well, right now they're all 10 to the 21st. But here's the issue. These are not in scientific notation. So I'll just show you a few examples. So if you have Mercury, and it's 0.364 times 10 to the 21st power. I hope you agree that if you wanted to rewrite this in scientific notation, you'd have to move that decimal point one place to the right. And depending on what teacher you have, some teachers say you have a good friend named Lars. And so Lars stands for left add. If you had to move that decimal point to the left, you'll add to the exponent. And if you have to move to the right, you'll subtract from the exponent. So if numbers aren't in scientific notation, if I have to move this decimal point one to the right, one place right, with right, you're going to subtract. So to go to the right, you'll subtract. So that means you'll take this 21 and subtract off 1. So in scientific notation, Mercury would be 3.64 times 10 to the 21 minus 20. 21 minus 1 is 20. Okay, and because if it was located here, to put it back in standard form, we'd move 21 places to the right. But if that decimal point was shifted over 1, I'd only have to move it 20 places to the right to put it back in standard form. So this one right here would then have an exponent of 20 in scientific notation. This one here, thankfully, is already in scientific notation. This one right here is in scientific notation. So I'm going to cross the ones off that are in scientific notation. That's in scientific notation. This one is a number between 1 and 10. That's in scientific notation. Okay, those we don't have to do a rewrite on. So first of all, Mercury has an exponent of just 20 in scientific notation. So that's lower than these in scientific notation that have an exponent of 21. So I'm going to eliminate those. But now I would really have to take each of these and rewrite them in scientific notation. Now I'm going to tell you Pluto, I really believe, has the smallest mass, I think. So for Pluto, if it starts as 0.0138 times 10 to the 21st, in order to relocate this decimal point so it could be in scientific notation, I now would have to move that decimal point 2 to the right. Well, if I'm going to go to the right, I'm going to subtract. So 2 places to the right, I have to subtract 2 from the exponent. So if I have to move this 2 places to the right, I subtract 2 from the exponent. So this becomes 1.38 times 10 to the 21 minus 2 is 19. So now that exponent is 19. So I have to tell you this one in scientific notation, 1.38 times 10 to the 19th, looks like it probably will have the lowest power. This one up here that was 20 no longer has a shot. This one right here, if I would go 1 to the right, I'd subtract 1 here. And that would get me down to 20. So that doesn't work. I got to get as low as 19. This one right here, if I'm going left 2 places, I'd actually add 2. So that doesn't have a shot. Right here, if I'm going left 1 place, left add, I'd add 1. This one right here, I'd have to go left 2 places. I'd actually have to add 2. So definitely in scientific notation, we can tell Pluto has the mass with the smallest power. That's only 19. I thought it was going to be Pluto anyway. For some reason, when I think of the planets, I think Pluto has the smallest mass, and obviously it does. All right, I hope that helps. So I don't know if Mr. Urbanski still does LA Notebook, but Miss Pearson used to say LA Notebook, left, add, and Miss Gandro, I believe, has always talked about her good friend Lars, left, add, right, subtract. All right, I hope that helps. That's to take a number that's, oops, sorry. Again, I got a little long-winded, but that's to take a number that's almost written in scientific notation, but not quite. If you just have to move the decimal in that first factor, and you use left, add, right, subtract, is how you'll change this exponent here. All right, I hope that helps. That one was a little long-winded, sorry.